If you don't check corruption, there is no way you can make any meaningful leap in life.
We talk about the stomach infrastructure policy.
Stomach infrastructure is simply about the welfare of the people, coming to the level of the people.
And the mere fact that you are a minister does not make it to be criminal. No court of law has convicted them.
Welcome to today's episode of the Osasu Show. With me today is the National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Chief Olisa Metuh. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, can you just walk us through, you made a comment lately in the media saying that APC lacks capacity to create and manage wealth. What does that mean?
Because it is quite straightforward. First, permit me to state that the issues are quite objective. We're talking about PDP, a national party that's managed our resources for 16 years, as against a party that is now in government and are driven by socialist ideas and communist policies, which we have seen with some of the things they've done, especially on the issue of restriction on foreign exchange, restriction on trade. Things like, there is no way the economy can grow. There is no way the economy of Nigeria can develop or progress with the measures that the ruling party and the present government is adopting. The most worrisome part of it is the effort to demarket the economy of Nigeria by giving the impression to the international community that Nigeria is a very corrupt place and there were corrupt people. If you notice, in the last 3 months, we have not seen any foreign investment in any sector of the economy. It has never happened like that in the last 16 years. This is the first time we've not seen anywhere.
So in the first 3 months of every administration, every past administration, foreign investors have come into...
With a lot of excitement, a lot of interest in the programs of the government. We have a lot of foreign investment in the capital market, in a lot of businesses that are planning to do, and a lot of projects. But they're basically not interested in what is happening. Everybody's looking at it like the government is even more concerned with the chasing shadows and the raising alarms and making phantom pronouncements than pursuing economic growth.
Well, some would argue that they have to put their house in order before foreign investors will look to us to invest.
If your house is not in order, then don't run for presidency of this country.
However,
but if you do not have any economic agenda, if you don't have any policy, if you don't have programs that you want to pursue, then do not aspire to run this.
Well, they claim they're clearing up the mess from the past administration. Your party, the People's Democratic Party, under Goodluck Ebele Jonathan's administration. What do you have to say about that?
You see, the truth, I want to tell the Nigerian people the truth. There is no perfect party. There is no perfect government. Maybe we made mistakes in some areas.
Maybe, or you said
maybe. There is no way that you will not find 1 or 2 people who maybe would have been corrupt under successive PDP governments. But at the same time, there were corrupt people in APC. There are corrupt people, there are former governors, everything that are corrupt. So corruption is endemic and is holistic, what is happening. There are people, and is individual corruption. It's not restrictive to a political party or to a tribe or to a religion. It's entirely a personal quest. And we are angry because it is our own commonwealth, it's our own money as well. So as a political party, we frown on corruption. We encourage the war against corruption. That's why we created the EFCC. That's why we created the ICPC. That's why we have allowed even our leaders, including relatives of our former national chairman and national chairman, and at the highest level, former ministers, to face the anti-corruption agencies. We have not protected them. But we frown at the attempt to label PDP government as being corrupt. And at the same time, this present government have not only protected people who are corrupt, they're a product of corruption because they were financed and funded by people who engaged in corruption, by corrupt funds. That's where they were funded. Most important, and their programs and
Can
what
you
they're doing.
elaborate on that?
Their programs and what they're doing is actually encouraging and fueling corruption.
How so?
What we have now is not democracy. What we have is a monarchy. We have a king who is now in charge of Nigeria and who has decided that he will allocate licenses and as he deems fit. And give jobs as he deems fit. Any directive from anyone close to the president to any of the ministries or these civil servants and public servants would be done with immediate effect. Where is the procedure? Where is the due process in what they're doing now? Now you're asking me for evidence of corrupt activities by APC government.
Because those are huge allegations, so we just need some facts to back that up.
You're a Nigerian.
Yes, sir.
You are witness, and you read what has been coming out in some of the states of APCs. The ones that were in charge now, the ones that they are in charge, and there's a new government, they've been exposing themselves. They've been giving some funny figures that you'll be wondering whether actually these people are serious about fighting corruption. It is usually said that physics shall heal themselves. It is said that charity begins at home. If you want to fight corruption, and we want to know that you are sincere about fighting corruption, turn to your left and your right. Those around you that are corrupt, expose them and bring them up. Then we know that you're serious. When you start fighting these former governors, when you start bringing these people who funded you with illegal funds, with unlawful earnings, then we know that you're serious about corruption. When even the people that are with us, you investigate them and you prosecute them, then we know that you're fighting corruption. But any day you come on air and you label the rot in the system is so bad. What we have discovered, a lot of corrupt activities. There are ministers that made $6 billion. There are agencies, people that raised millions of dollars. I mean, that's that's a propaganda. That's a government.
So you claim those
that's propaganda. That's not governance. That's not governance.
Those claims.
We inherited a system from the military. We all know what happened during the military regime. We did not shout. We did not engage in shouting against the military government. We did not engage in shouting about corruption. We set up the ICPC, EFCC, and we encouraged these government agencies and other bodies to go and recover the funds of Nigeria because it's a commonwealth. And we recovered hundreds of millions and billions of dollars. But while we're doing that, we did not make so much noise. We did not do any propaganda. We did not label the military.
So are you upset that they are making noise about their investigation? Or are you upset that they are probing the People's Democratic Party?
We engaged in governance. It did not suffer. But this time around, there is no policy, no program the government has done to show that they're serious about moving this country forward, except that they're fighting corruption.
Exactly.
And
is your problem, sorry, you have to clear this up to the people, right? So is your problem with the All Progressive Congress and General Buhari the fact that he's fighting corruption predominantly in the People's Democratic Party, or that they're doing it publicly? What?
No. Our position is simple. We support the war against corruption. Okay. But the war against corruption is a different thing from governing this country. Because these moons that we are losing will bring us to a period of Holocaust and a period of economic starvation in the next few years. And then do not blame PDP because it's a lack of any policy or program for you to sustain the economy. So we are angry that the government is diverting attention from the purpose that they were elected. Because we did not elect, President Buhari was not elected to be EFCC chairman. He was not elected to be IG of police. He was elected to be president of Nigeria. He was not elected to be head of an anti-corruption agency. Yes, we want to fight corruption, but appoint people who are capable and competent to be fighting it and to be engaging in it. And investigate people and prosecute them. But please focus your attention on the economy. It's not about the economy. We have problem with the price of oil. We have problem with foreign investment. We have problem that there is that there is confusion in Nigeria now about people who are engaged in trading and business. They do not know the policies they are bringing. It's unknown to any capitalist economy. It's unknown to any economy that wants to develop. Both developing and developed economy is unknown. We do not know what they're doing with the foreign exchange. We don't know about trading. We do not even understand. I'm not sure they do understand it. I understand that the president is not very familiar with 21st century Nigeria, the economy, and the people of Nigeria. I sympathize with him. And we've allowed him a few months to understand, because when you come back and you reel out names that you are catching cabinet of people who you want to appoint, some of them died many years ago, some of them incapacitated, so you are not very familiar with them. But they've taken time to tell him these are people who are still alive and these are people that you should understand. But in doing that, let the economy do not neglect the issue.
But don't you think they need to get this money back in order to pump it into the economy? You spoke about the ICPC not probing APC governors, but they just released a statement that they're probing at least two former governors that run under the All Progressive Congress.
Let me tell you, do you know how much we recovered from the former head of state, Abacha, General Abacha, and his family? The same administration that the present president told us was not corrupt. Do you know the billions of dollars that we recovered from them? Effective, efficient system of the fight against corruption, not engaging in drama and propaganda and deceit. That is not what we're all about. We're talking about fighting corruption with. Listen, in 3 months that they are fighting corruption, have they charged anybody to court? Nobody has been charged to court. No investigation has been made open. No concrete allegation has been laid, except wild allegations. Now, when they arrested the former NSA, we were told, they informed us, this is a government, we should believe our government, it should be a responsible government. They announced to us that the man they invaded his house because of corrupt activities and on charges of corruption, and there's so much money. That's what they told us. Then when we demanded to know the allegations and whatever he has done against the country, they told us that he's being held on treasonable grounds. Felony and fight against treason, planning treason. We kept quiet. 2 days ago, they charged him for possession of firearms. Is that why they invaded his house? They have not told us, they have not charged him for corruption. They have not even labeled allegations of corruption against anybody in 3 months. How then do you think that Nigerians will believe that there's a serious fight against corruption? When will you start investigating? When will you start prosecuting the people? And when you're doing it, understand that everybody is innocent until proven guilty. That's the law of our country. Do not change the laws of our country to you people are all guilty. Come and prove yourself innocent.
That's fine. So do you want to clarify your statement that you made that he's giving contracts to those?
I said that the system that he has is encouraging corruption. That people around him are using the fact that he's running a monarchy to be giving instructions to public servants, civil servants, and be flouting the laws of the country and the due process. That due process is not being followed in the things they are doing, in allocations, in licensings, in giving dispensing contracts. And that is what I'm saying, and the simple forward.
And you have facts to back this up, because that...
So. Okay. You know, when we inform Nigerians that the DG of DSSS is a member of the APC, and that is related to the president, they asked us for facts. We kept quiet when the journalists asked us, until APC came out to insult us that we're saying things without facts. Then we brought pictures and we brought documents to prove to the whole country. And they've not replied since then. So let them come up and dispute what we are saying. Then we'll give you facts in several parastatals. Don't forget that we've been in government for 16 years. So there is nothing that is hidden from the PDP. We have a wide network. We will bring documents to prove to them that they are not fighting corruption. They are not. They're not serious. What they are serious about is a witch hunt. Witch hunt against the PDP. Because we have no genuine policy, no good program, you want to label the PDP as corrupt and as anti-people, just to destroy the party, and for people to allow you to give you 2 or 3 years to be fooling around without any progress, without any policy, without any program, Let me ask you as a journalist, can you lay your hands on any program that this government has given or informed us that they're planning to do on the economy of this country? Tell me one area of the economy. Whether it's the health, education, anywhere that they've come out. We've had other governments. We've had the Obasanjo government. Check the 100 days of President Obasanjo. Anyway, let me not. We will come to that.
You know,
his 100 days will soon be over. We will come to his 100 days. That's different.
Sir, let's take a break, and we'll be right back on the Osasu Show. Welcome back to the Osasu Show. Still with me is the National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Chief Olisa Metuh. Thank you for sitting tight with us, sir. We also have 2 patriotic Nigerians joining us, Mr. Samuel, who is a writer and media expert, as well as Mr. Michael, who you've seen on the show previously, is a writer and social commentator. Thank you for joining us, gentlemen. So this is an opportunity, or the time in the show, where we get to let them ask questions, burning thoughts and questions of the everyday Nigerians. So I'll give you an opportunity, starting with Michael.
Well, thank you, Chief, for coming. To a very large extent, you are considered as a very controversial person. How true is this?
I do agree that sometimes people believe that statements that you make that are controversial. People believe there are some things that we say that we shouldn't say. I have tried to remain on firm grounds, on grounds of things that I can only prove and things that are truthful within my knowledge. Once in a while, you can say things that you have evidence or you've been directed to, but you must be convinced that it's the truth, and you must have evidence that is truthful before you can say that. Because to condemn people is very wrong. Even it's a crime against God. It's not about winning. It's not about perception. It's about saying the truth and being truthful. So I choose my words carefully, and I try not to label people with wrong things. And that's why we've kept away from certain things to do with even this government. And that's why we insist that we have respect for the person and the office of the president of this country. He's not only the president of Nigeria, he's our leader and he's our father. He's the father of the nation, and he's my father as well, he's my leader. So we respect him, but we will not accept if he engages in wrong policies and programs that we believe that will not augur well for the progress of this country. And it's incumbent upon us to state our own alternative and option to his own policies and programs, as long as we do it decently, respectfully, and without detracting him.
Samuel, now you get a chance to ask Chief Olisa Metuh.
Okay, thank you very much. My question is, given the fact that you're not really in a full support of this president's administration by making statements such as the policies which he involves or brings in is not what is good for the country, and also you made statement of foreign investors that there has been a reduce of such during this time. I just want you to give one positive comment about this administration. Is there something you actually commend the president's administration? Just something you commend outside this other negativity?
I think that people believe that the president as a person, for some reason, appears to offer some hope based on his reputation and his promises. He has a reputation of being an honest man, being that in this democracy, he's not been accused, or there is no allegation, or there is nothing against him in this democracy. Well, we've heard about PTDF and the rest of them. That was military. But since the perception of democracy. Mr. President has been clean in this democracy in terms of what, but then you can as well argue that he's not been in government or he's not had any position. So it depends on how you look at it.
Okay. We have time for just one more question, so we'll give that to Michael.
Opposition politics. How is it?
I don't know what to say because someone asked me once, I said it's cold out there. And they were laughing at me all over, so I said it's cold. You said?
You don't mind being on that side?
No, it's not about opposition, it's not about ruling parties, it's about service to the people. If for the next 4 years we succeed in showcasing credible opposition, we'll be happy with it. As long as the ideas that we bring or options or alternatives that we bring will be considered by the government, not necessarily for them to implement, but to be weighed with their own policies and programs. Then they will decide or modify or amend their own policies. Then we're contributing to the progress of this country. So it's not about who is in charge of the country. It's about whether we are playing, because for you to leave your business and leave your family and decide to engage in this politics, it should be for service. It should not be for winning. It's about the participation. It's about trying to effect changes.
So our last question, unfortunately, we've run out of time, but it's from one of our Facebook fans, Sonny Ochebe. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, but forgive me if I'm not. He asked, what rebirth program do the People's Democratic Party have in place right now?
While we are waiting for the Deputy Senate President, who is Senator Ike Ekweremadu, who is heading a committee to reposition our party, we decided to start our e-registration program. That e-registration is taking the party back to the people. We've come to realize that the control of the party is being done by certain groups and some individuals in terms of that. But having an e-registration will be taking the party back to the grassroots, making it easier for people to become members of the party, to have a say in who will head the administration, or people will be administrators of the party.
Young people as well, I hope.
And the young people as well. So we are keen into fundamentally the basic vision of the founding fathers of the PDP. And that's why they formed a motto and their mantra, power to the people. So we want to take this party back to the people. Let them determine who the leaders will be. Let them determine the policies that we'll take. Let them determine how we'll run our party and how we get prepared to challenge the ruling party. Because it's not easy to challenge a ruling party. We left government without the leaders of the party trying to establish funding for the party, getting oil contracts to PDP, giving undue whatever to PDP, allocating lands to us to do this or to do that, or creating areas where we'll get funding. So it's not easy to challenge them. They were funded by people who were actually taking the monies from some states. They were funded by people who engaged in some other activities. So they had it easy because of the kind of funding they had. We, being respectful for the laws of the country, being respectful for being ethical in our ways and manners, it would be difficult for us. So except if the people come back to help us to rebuild the party.
I would have loved to touch on that, but we've run out of time. Thank you so much for joining us, sir, and thank you to our patriotic Nigerians for joining us as well. So stay tuned, and we have more for you on the Osasu Show. Bridging the gap is not just about bringing the poor and the rich together or giving alms to the masses. Bridging the gap is about touching the lives of the masses and entering into the door of their souls.
We need a good leader that can lead our country to the better destination.
During the show, we visit the streets to collect the burning thoughts of people across the nation.
At this day in the Nigerian system right now, corruption has gone so whereby you have people eating billions of dollars and billions of dollars and going scot-free.
We discuss their aspirations and apprehensions, then send them to the ears of those that have the solution. This is the Osasu Show.